we're going to have a look at a very particular type of relative clause which may be useful, especially when you're writing. These are perfectly ordinary relative clauses. When you say, for example, isn't that the woman who lives? And in this case, this sentence has to do with related, referring to the woman. When you say, the police said that the accident, that of which happened last night, was unavoidable, this relative here is referring to the accident. Or when you say, the house that of which we rented in London was fully furnished, this relative here is referring to the house. However, look at a sentence like this here. If you say something like, they stayed for the weekend and it was great. This is grammatically correct, no problems at all. However, I do feel that it could be said in a better way, probably, because you have this pronoun here, which is making reference to the whole of a sentence, not just to one word in particular, but to the whole of a previous sentence. As you progress in the English language, tend to avoid just saying, they stayed for the weekend and something like that. This is a bit basic, so we're going to complicate things a bit. What you could say then, bearing in mind that you're talking, that this it here is going to replace or is referring to the whole of a previous sentence, you could say something like, they stayed for the weekend, which was great. And as I'm saying, it refers to the whole of a previous sentence, not just to the word weekend, but to the whole of they stayed for the weekend. In this case, these are called sentential relative clauses, never mind about the name, and you're always going to use which. You can't use any other relative pronoun. So, to sum up, these kinds of relative clauses make reference not just to a specific part, not just to one word, but to the whole, to the entire sentence. If we have a look at other examples, you could say something like, when you're talking about social media, you could say something like, some users do not think twice about the comments they post on social media, and this may have dreadful consequences. This pronoun here, this, is referring to all these facts. The fact that some users don't think twice about the comments they post on social media. So if you want to substitute this with a perhaps nicer sentence, you could say, some users do not think twice about the comments they post on social media, which may have dreadful consequences, referring to the whole of a previous sentence. Another example, you could say, interactions between people who are near to each other are reduced, and it could be dangerous for true relationships. This it is referring to this whole fragment here. So you could substitute and it by saying, interactions between people who are near to each other are reduced, which could be dangerous for true relationships, making reference to the fact that interactions between people who are near to each other are reduced. So, I hope you've understood these clauses, which would make me very happy.